Hi, we're Ian and Julie. Follow us on our tiny homestead and our debt-free project of a lifetime, the building of our home here in the Pyrenees, and all of this alongside our full-time jobs.
Good morning and welcome back to the channel. I'm Ian and my wife's Julie, and we're both building, just the two of us, a passive house here in the French Pyrenees. Now, you saw in the last video we're just laying the first course of block. Now we just got to a point where Julie noticed I hadn't put through the conduit, and it's silly little things like that that you just get carried away with putting the blocks down. You forget certain little things and then it's going to be an awful mess later on when you try and rectify it. Luckily we caught it. As you saw, I've rectified that now. We've got that in using sort of outer conduits through the wall, and then I will then put through the actual conduits through those pipes, and it'll just make waterproofing the bloc of bonche wall, the concrete form wall and everything else. So we're going to carry on with those blocks today. It is a struggle. I should have just got my corners correct at the right height and put string lines along the top and followed that, but yeah, it's a bit too late for that now. So I'm just going to carry on as I am, and we'll see how we get on. I didn't film this bit. I just wanted to get at least five blocks under my belt and a bit more confidence, because last night when we finished over there, I was grinding the block, grinding the foundation. It got just a little bit high over there, and it's so frustrating. Putting the blocks on and off, cutting. These are quite low here. When I did my laser levels in the last video, it showed this section was a tiny bit low, and that makes it a lot easier. I can just put a lot more mortar down, and you can tap them in nicely. So these five have done. I'm going to get on with the next mix and get the next 5 or 6, depending on the heights, and yeah, we'll get this long straight banged out today. That was the quickest, best set of 5 I've done so far. Yeah, it was a good mix. I'm probably wasting lots of mix, but we are quite high up here, so it's a lot easier. So I'm just piling it all in and then just squeezing them down and giving them a last tap. Julie's going to put on the next mix and we get on with the next 5. It's just easier working in 5s. Also gives the back a rest as well, which is killing me at the moment. I've even gone and got a back brace off my son. So just got braces everywhere. As my GP has told me in my last meeting with him, I'm just broken. So I hope I can get through this build without being too broken.
I haven't perfected the art of throwing it in while it's spinning. They're too heavy, I can't do that. Not yet. I know you're going to laugh, but I'm using my little garden spatula because although I can carry 35 kilo, I just can't lift it to actually physically fill half a bucket. I tried and I overfilled my bucket, went everywhere, so I'm being a girl. That's big enough, isn't it? Chip, chip, chip. This is what I'm knocking out because we found when we come to put the rebar on, it can't drop down. So I'm just going to go along and like that, knock those bits out, and then the rebar will sit in. So I'm working my way the whole way along the row.
And while Julie is knocking out all the rebar holes, recesses, I'm just going to tie in these corners here, and then we can get the second lot of blocks on. Because what I found yesterday, it was a bit of a tough day yesterday. I've got two long sides in, so this long one here that I've started putting the extra blocks on, and my return this way, all went perfect. And then I started down the other long side behind me, got halfway, and I decided to check some levels. I didn't have my laser with me, so I checked it with the spirit level and a big long straight edge, and it looked off. So I got my smaller laser out, and it read around 15mm difference from the end of those blocks to my starting point. This morning I've just got the laser out, the proper laser, gone around the whole site, and I am perfect all the way along my first two walls. And then at this final corner here behind me, that one's perfect, but then I start to go down slightly, correct it with the second course by putting in some mortar. Normally you don't put mortar between these, but I'm going to put some mortar in to raise that 15mm, just under half an inch, isn't it, all the way to it degrades, it goes down to 0. So over about 10 blocks it actually disappears. So luckily I can find that now and can correct that. I could leave it and just correct it right at the end, but I don't want slopey lines. So that was a bad afternoon, so hence not a lot of filming yesterday. We were trying to correct that. So now we've had a rest, think about it, we're back on track.
I've got the knack of it now. I have to pull it up as well as push my bar. Yeah, snaps off. Perfect.
First time using it on the house. Easier than measuring. Look at that. Ugh, well worth the money for those two I've got to cut. No, we've got to cut quite a few.
Clean.
Yeah. Oh, last block. You better fit now. Ooh. He's a bit tight.
It's not making it easy. Cool.
There we go.
We've completed the circuit.
Oh gosh.
It's been a fight.
These tucked down a bit. Oh. Oh, blimey. I do hate these first courses. Oh, perfect. The last one is perfect. Tap that one across.
So we've gone all the way around now. We've done it, Ian.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, we're both bent over. We look 90. You need to see behind the scenes crawling around the kitchen at home.
That is hopefully the last bendy down for a bit, because you can't kneel down because it hurts your knees, plus you can't really sit down because all the rebar sticks right up your butt, so you're constantly just above it. Where when we get the nice wooden floor doing all the nice woodwork, I'll just be able to sit there on a wheelie chair or something. But
wheelchair?
A wheelie. I'll get the one from my garage.
Oh my gosh, I think Ian's looking forward to working with wood again.
Oh, I don't. That's it. I'm just going to tidy up the edges now, and then we'll start on the next course. I've got to drill a couple of holes for those conduits. I'll get those done. So that means all the conduits and the lower holes are done until we get to the 4th course, and that's where it starts getting interesting.
What builders call that, where they clean the edges off?
Pointing.
Oh, I was going to call it the slag, but it's not, is it? All tidy.
Oh dear.
These chairs have followed us all round.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the harder jobs, just because you have to get it exact as well, and all the corners exact. Although when we get up to 3 courses, I'll measure the diagonals on the corners again, and then if we have to micro adjust on the next course, we'll just budget out a little bit. But it's got to be exact. When that frame comes, that sole plate has to fit exactly to those dimensions. So they're cutting on a computer and I'm chipping out with a hammer. So I just hope it all fits.
Oh dear. Oh, I think we can have a celebratory
Panache.
panache. I'll go and get you one.
Just get this rebar bent little bits at a time. That's my plan. So one job doesn't seem to overwhelm another. So this is my 4th course now. So this is where I need to start measuring for my LVL's pockets. And I think this course I will check my diagonals and dimensions too. Nice when they're just straights. A little bit of fine tuning. I'll do that with a straight edge. That's looking okay.
Just repositioning our gazebo ready for tomorrow. Sunset. Ready for another day.
Good morning. Back on site. Just going to move those pallets with the Manitou over into the center of the build site, and that's where we can easily then manhandle those blocks and get them on the wall. Right, here is the first one. Gonna try get him round there. God, it's so hard to see. That's the bit I forgot about. You need enough room to slide back, and yeah, those other blocks are in the way. So what I'll do, offload those blocks, and then I'll be able to take the pallet off and then just lift it up. But at least I've got the blocks closer to where I want to use them. So right, let's get this wall built. Well, first of all, I've got to drill holes. I've got to get all these conduits done, and then I need to cut a couple of blocks, half blocks, so they'll form the corner of my walls. So let's get those fiddly little jobs out the way, and then it'll just become one block after the other. Well, these are the tools for today. Everything I can think of, but I bet I've forgotten something. This is the first time we've left this canopy up at night. Look at the condensation already. It's supposed to keep water out. Right, with that hole drilled, let's have a look. This is a corner one as well. So I'm going to get the water in this one, which will be the lowest one. And I'm going to put my conduits in the next one up. So I've got my water one here, because I want to put a fitting on it. That block's in the way. There. Perfect. So that's the idea. The only one that I've got to cut with my grinder is the 100mm, because I don't have a hole saw for 100mm. But the other two, which are for my gate electrics, lights and things at the top of the drive, and my fibre in case I use it, but I do have Starlink at the moment. So let's get these cut. All of those are done. I can get this whole layer on then. All right, 2 cuts in this one. Well, actually 3, because I'm starting to use the corners, because we have so many corners. So I'm going to dot these around every other one, but you have to cut out the actual rebars a bit closer. You have to cut out the end here to allow the concrete to flow through. And they do have little weak points here that you can just tap it, but I've cut it out wider, so there's no constriction then. So I've got one there. I've decided to keep them all on the same plane, just because they're lower then at the bottom. They're not going to be stuck halfway up a gravel or the drainage. So and there, and then I've got one more to go here. So let's just bend that one back. Yeah, that works all right. Risk cracking the block. So 140 by 100. And you get a little donut like that. All good. So my LVL pocket is going to be sitting around here. So this is the course that I've got to nibble out. Probably, I think it's 145 millimeters I've got to knock out. So it's actually quite a lot of the block. So I've got my drawings at home. I'll get those when all the fourth course is on, and then we'll get all of those measured up accurately and cut out. And then I'll have to build a wooden form to allow the concrete to go all the way around. So each pack, as I've explained before, comes with quite a few corners. Now we have all our corners set, so I've got enough blocks for the corners, but you have to use these instead of normal blocks. So what you do, it shows a normal tiny little cutout, but I like to cut a bigger V, and then just so the concrete can flow through this area, and then we can use these corners. They're actually much stronger than the other blocks because they've got the internal section here. Well, I got those 2 pallets in. There's only enough room for 2. So, oh, look at these. 1, 2 broken there. I think that's me. There wasn't that many broken when he delivered them. But, yeah, trying to manhandle the Manitou, it's not that much of finesse. Right, this is the bit that has been bothering me, that we went off slightly, and it's only a tiny bit, but I'm just putting some mortar along. That's all right. It's sort of getting the hang. As you see, I'm not a brickie. Lucy, not very good skills. Oh, come on. This is just a smidge up this end. Not even. It tapers down, you see. So 420 is there. So you put that in. Hold on.
You got my pen mark?
That there.
Yeah.
And then you press the trigger.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
And then 379 is there.
Yeah. Mind your finger.
Hold on.
And a little bit more.
There.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we cut these a little bit long to allow for a decent overlap. Oh, so that's the front one. There we go. So that's got a good overlap both ends to tie on, and yeah, perfect. So this one, that's for the outside. My 420. Oops. There you go. Look at that, sits in the grooves perfect. Now for the best part, the Twizzler. And this little thing here has got shorter and shorter the further we've gone round. And I'm a casualty, it bounced off and went straight in my leg. Just to join them. Push my rods together, pull, and lightly twizzle. hook, squeeze together and lightly pull. Perfect, job done. Right, I'll carry on with that all the way up.